Maniacs, we're going to be diving into more Nostalgia Critic. Now, if you like this type of content and want to see more content like this continue, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, go support the original video, of course. I will not accept your likes and exception. I will not accept anything until you go over there and support the original video, okay? So go over there and support the original video. Now, we're going to be diving into Nostalgia Critic's review of Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. This is the best Scooby-Doo movie. 100%. It actually is kind of scary, and it does have awesome animation, and the characters are at top notch. I think this is like the best the characters have been in any movie. It's okay, we got to just go ahead and dive into it. I mean, there have been literally moments in movies that have given me nightmares. Nightmares. Morgan Moonscar. Wow. So let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, get this video over 100 likes, and I'll continue reacting to Nostalgia Critic for you because I genuinely enjoy watching him. He's one of my favorite content creators. And let's not waste any more time and get into this.
This episode brought to you by Stamps.com. Why go to the store to get stamps when you can have them printed right at home for your convenience?
Channel awesome! I'm excited, actually. Nostalgia-ween.
1969, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Premieres on television. It begins a franchise of spin-offs, specials, movies, and magnificently confusing crossovers. On its 50th anniversary...
Never seen any of those. I never actually sat down and watched any of like the collaboration movies. I think they even had one with Supernatural. I never actually sat down and watched Supernatural, but I know they did that. I know they did John Cena and so many other people.
There's one special in particular.
Saw Batman. I saw the Batman crossover.
Scooby-Doo fans claim is by far the best one. Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. Will it have the same impact as when it first premiered? Will it have cameos from Zombie Gilligan and Skipper? And will it finally answer if Velma is the teenage version of Marcy? Don't delay the truth any longer. Fanfiction forums are counting on it. I'm Nostalgia Stack, and welcome to Nostalgia-ween.
Nostalgia-ween.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember, so
You don't have to.
It's hard to find a formula that can last over 50 years. But Scooby-Doo has certainly found that formula. Though there's certainly been variations over the years, Scooby-Doo has delighted kids with almost the exact same characters and setup. A bunch of 20-something kids stumble across a monster that's usually a person in a mask, and they need to solve the mystery of who it is. Sometimes they stray from the formula, and the result has always been, well, back to formula. I guess it makes sense why it's lasted so long. The characters are pleasant and easy to identify. They're a great contrast to the gothic situations they're put in. The mysteries help kids form deductive problem-solving skills. And of course that adorably mangy dog too. It's become a cultural phenomenon, still making shows, movies, and specials, as well as being satirized by everybody, including themselves.
At least I
Yep.
try to look
Love
feminine.
that.
Say what you will about it, but this is a franchise train that's provided a huge amount of steam. So, for their 50th anniversary, I want to look over what many fans would consider their best work.
Zombie
And most
Island.
fans agree that
Zombie Island really is the best movie. I'm just going to say it right now. The fact that it went as dark as it did and actually was actually kind of scary. When you're a kid and you watch Zombie Island, it's kind of terrifying. Even as an adult looking back on those scenes. Really, I literally watched Zombie Island recently. Rewatched it, and it holds up quite well. I mean, the story, the characters, the zombie designs are creepy as all hell, and even the twist towards the end actually kind of works. It's goofy, but it kind of works.
would be Zombie Island. Released to home video in 1998, this is what many Scooby-Doo fans consider their magnum opus. With good animation, a darker tone, and actual monsters this time as opposed to just people in masks. An element that would return in many future spin-offs. While that's all fine and good, does it hold any value for grown-ups? Is there something there to entertain the brain of an adult as well as the heart of a child?
I'd say so.
Well, let's jump right
I'd
in
agree.
after
I
running
think it does.
midair in a circle to find out. Let's close out Nostalgia-ween with Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Ah shit, I put on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. have noticed, the production in this one is certainly upped, with the backgrounds really breathing with dark and gothic life. I'm almost wondering if I put this in by mistake. It looks like a monster is hunting down the Mystery Inc. gang, and it wouldn't be a Scooby-Doo property without this creepy and foreboding environment given 100% inappropriate music. Today's soon-to-be dated musical guest is Third Eye Blind. Oh God, which one do I drop? And you know it's Velma.
God, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, they cut the part where Velma climbed Daphne in order to reach Shaggy's hand. You know exactly why. The monster is defeated and revealed to be...
Like, it's Mr. Beeman, the real estate agent.
I think the real question is, who's wearing the Fred mask? There's no way those are human eyes.
No
I would
shit.
have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that big dog and you meddling kids.
I got top billing from the villa this time. It turns out this is a story Daphne is sharing on a talk show as she now has become a reporter on Americana.
I always thought that was kind of a cool thing. They all kind of had their own things going. I think, yeah, like Velma owned her own bookstore. Scooby and Shaggy were security at like the airport. And yeah, they were all doing their own things. You know, Fred was the cameraman for Daphne.
Ooh, stories like that always give me the heebie-jeebies. Ooh!
Rosie O'Donnell's show has never been the same since she transformed into a skinny black woman. It looks like Fred is her producer, while the rest of the team has split, with Shaggy and Scooby becoming security guards at an airport. I'm not gonna lie, the idea of Scooby-Doo sniffing out drugs is both the funniest and most ironic thing they could do.
You can't arrest me. Shaggy sold me that shit.
Rough him up, boys.
No, they're just happy because they get to keep the contraband food that others sneak into the country. And nothing else. Especially stuff that would make them want to eat all that contraband food.
Like, is this the jackpot of jobs or what?
And when I say jackpot, I mean we're getting jacked from pot. Meanwhile, Velma runs a mystery bookstore right next to Ray's occult books, as Fred calls and says he's getting the gang back together, surprising Daphne on her birthday.
Surprise!
Gosh,
Man, Velma spent no time getting her grope on.
oh, I love purple.
So Fred invites them along on a story to find actual haunted areas instead of these surprisingly common criminals in ghost masks.
Perfect. Mystery Inc. is back in business.
That was a whole 7 minutes we spent apart. Honestly, could have been edited out, but it was worth it for this Photoshop. They tour Louisiana to find real ghosts, but everyone is revealed to be fake. As it turns out, they're just too good at solving mysteries. They come across a woman named Lena Dupre who says she knows a real haunted house on Moonscar Island.
What do we have to lose?
And that Lena is kind of cute.
Fred.
I just meant she'd be real photogenic for a segment.
This is because I had that fling with Biff from Jabberjaw, isn't it? They follow her to a ferry that'll take them to the haunted island with the haunted house through the haunted bayou.
Pirates use this bayou to hide from the law. They know only a fool will come a-looking up in here.
No, sorry, I have a condition where I shout that word. Anyway, they were looking for fool's gold while nourishing a fool's hope in the middle of watching Fools Rush In is a new movie at the time. Underrated. Scooby and Shaggy fall over, though, but are saved by a fisherman named Snakebite, who's...
This guy used to freak me the hell out when I was younger for some reason. Him and his pig. I don't know what it was. This guy I thought was going to be the bad guy, 100%, when I was younger.
looking to catch Big Mona, an uncatchable catfish.
This here's my hunting pig.
Mojo.
Hunting pig?
That's the weirdest thing I ever heard, isn't that right, mystery-solving talking dog?
Super weird.
He returns them to their boat, and they arrive at the house on the island, which is crawling with cats.
Rats! Scooby!
I can't do a
You
Scooby-Doo.
know my name is the Lord when I lay my Scooby upon thee.
They come across the owner named Simone, who is not amused
What
at
is this
Scooby's antics.
dog
You
doing
have
here?
to do something about your dog.
Food always keeps Scooby occupied.
If it will keep him from chasing my cats.
No, I meant the cats being the food. Is that off the table? Scooby and Shaggy notice a chill in the kitchen as the local ghosts recommend their favorite Jordan Peele movie.
The hunting might just be starting. After sundown, the ghosts get more restless.
It'll be like those ghost hunting shows. There might be bumps in the distance. Bumps! Velma starts levitating, though, as Daphne is thrilled that the ghost might be real.
This just gets better and
Maybe
better.
from where you're standing.
Maybe from where you're standing.
Please say it's more than a maybe.
Anybody want to try getting me down?
Sure thing. Come on, Scoob.
I was talking to Daphne. They look over the video to see if they can gather clues as to what happened.
Feel the chill in the air. I think I saw something.
The ghost edited the footage to include a close-up.
It looks like
A ghost.
Ha! It wasn't a criminal at all. It was Old Man Ghost. Something seems backwards. So the ghost, it looks like, is the pirate Moonscar.
Dude, the build up to when you see Morgan Moonscar come back to life from as a zombie. Dude, as a kid, I had nightmares of that scene. Like falling into a hole in the ground. I remember having like that dream when I was a kid. Falling into a hole in the ground and all of a sudden seeing like a hand dangling off the side in like the rubble. And all of a sudden like a green light coming down and like turning him into a full-on zombie. And that moan he made was just unsettling.
But Fred still thinks it can't be real.
Then why did it only show up on the tape?
There's always a logical explanation for these things.
Like, remember when we proved
Yeah,
fat?
Fred is how most people think I am today. There's always a logical explanation for these things. And sometimes there is. Sometimes it's hard to make out. And sometimes there's not. I do believe in the paranormal. As much as people really don't think I do, I actually do believe in the paranormal. Difficult when it comes to YouTube content sometimes. That's basically what I'm getting at. You know, sometimes our television shows, it's just difficult. You know, because I really do believe that there are people who actually catch legitimate stuff. And people who I do believe credible actually told me they catch legitimate stuff. It's just, unfortunately, it's all kind of... There's just so much shit now. It's just difficult, and that's, yeah.
Velma was really the devil? Just look at the facts. Velma examines further and discovers the house is partly made from Moonscar's pirate ship.
Parts of this house are quite old. Pieces of the pirate ship could have been used in the construction.
I hear that. The studio is 50% Hispaniola, complete with Captain Flint. I really should put a shelf there.
Imagine, though, how pissed off would you be if someone came into your house? Obviously, you hired them to do a mystery, but imagine if they took a spatula and started scraping the paint off the wall. How mad would you be? I'd be expecting some sort of payment. Yeah, he's getting ready to do his commercial thing. Sorry.
So the legend goes the pirate Moonscar buried treasure on the island, which Fred thinks is further proof it's just a person faking this looking for riches. Meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy stumble into a...
Which I'm confident is the story for basically the next movie. Do yourself an honest-to-God favor. Do not watch Return to Zombie Island. It is such a big waste of time, and the acting is so atrocious. It's got Matthew Lillard in it as Shaggy, which is probably one of the only redeemable parts. But other than that, the animation sucks, the story sucks, the villains suck. It's just, overall, the entire movie, waste of time.
A pit where a dead body seems to be coming to life.
Come to stop Pirates of the Caribbean flicks. Seriously, what was Javier
Dude.
Bardem doing?
In all seriousness, though, Morgan Moonscar's revival is terrifying. Just look at him. The zombie designs are phenomenal in this movie. They're really creepy. Has anybody ever cosplayed as Morgan Moonscar? Someone should.
They get out and tell everyone about LeChuck, but nobody saw him, including the suspicious gardener.
What were you doing out here?
My job.
He is suspicious, but he is kinda cute.
I can't wait to leave this movie in a body bag. They decide to let the gang spend the night as they're shown to their rooms.
Your room is this way, Fred.
I feel like that's always something that makes me cringe. You're doing a mystery, right? And you're suspicious about a certain person, but all they can think about is how attractive they are. Like, okay, fine, whatever. It's like if you think that, whatever, but don't actually go for them. Like if you think they are suspicious of something.
This is your room, Miss Blake.
I object. Fred and I get separate rooms, but Scooby and Shaggy share the same bed. I mean, I know why you did it, but I still object. I like that for dinner, Shaggy changes from a green shirt literally into another green shirt.
Dude, this scene also creepy as hell. And actually, surprisingly enough, the scene where he actually comes up to the mirror and says, "Get away," is not the scariest part. To me, what's actually kind of scary is them going back into the room and finding the name on the back of it. Ghost stories always freak me out. An atmosphere like that really makes me, when they read the Colonel's name and stuff, it's just, and you put together that's who you saw in the mirror, it just freaks me out.
But it's interrupted by a ghost appearing in the mirror, scaring them away.
Hey, look! Property of Colonel Jackson T. Pettigrew, 8th Louisiana.
Does nobody have short names in Scooby-Doo mysteries?
Let's see whose Redbeard really is.
It's Chef!
That sounds like a Civil War regiment.
There were Confederate barracks on this island.
Now we have Civil War ghosts fighting pirate ghosts. When did Asylum Pictures take over the Scooby-Doo franchise? Well, let's not have this get in the way of our dinner.
The dog will have to eat outside.
Rats! It's hard to enjoy a meal with a bunch of eyes staring at you.
It's okay, I've seen Sleepwalkers. Somebody in the house is just banging his mother.
Oh my god.
Sit tight, old buddy.
Oh wow. I didn't actually, when I sit back and think about it, it does got some Sleepwalker vibes now that I think about it.
These kitties faster than that Cats trailer!
Ooh,
They of course
cats.
stumble across more spooks as both zombie pirates and soldiers rise from the ground and chase after them.
Another waste of time, by the way, and we're getting to probably one of the best moments of the entire movie. Terror Time again. So good. Oh, the song kicks so much ass.
Quick, let's get out of here before we have to explain to kids what the Civil War and slavery is.
I told you the huntings were just beginning.
That's why I prepared this nice dinner. They go looking for Scooby and Shaggy to make sure nothing's happened to them.
So it's you!
Old Gardner! Gardner!
Your crazy friends are screaming about zombies.
You're never around when these ghosts and zombies appear.
Now, isn't that a coincidence?
We really believe you're behind it, which probably means you're not behind it. How many times have we done this routine?
Yeah.
He starts getting pissed off of the accusations, even after saving one of their lives.
Quicksand.
Thanks. But you're still a suspect.
Now kindly carry me over these dangerous puddles, suspect! Fred and Daphne find the mystery machine as well as the crawfish Scooby and Shaggy ate. That seems scream-worthy.
This movie, shit's about to get real. This movie, I mean, it already got real a long time ago, but dude, shit, when I say it gets real, shit gets real in about 5 minutes.
Zombie and ghosts are one thing, but seafood shells? I might be dumb! They come across Shaggy and Scooby as...
Hey, if you're paranoid and it's in the middle of the night with like people saying there's zombies out there, anything can make you jump. That's why I always say paranoia. You'd be surprised. Literally, a kitten could pounce and you would be like, oh my god.
As well as a zombie.
It's the fakest, cheesiest mask I've ever seen.
But it feels real.
I know, from all the dead faces I've touched in the past. Don't Google me.
Maybe it's real.
Ooh, shit got real.
Well, I never thought I'd say this in a Scooby-Doo movie, but holy shit! Even the cast of Black Cauldron would be like, wow, God, Jesus, I mean, fuck! More zombies come to life as yet
Black Cauldron, dude. Another movie that utilizes some esque of zombie kind of material, spirit material. The scenes, man, in that movie, the art, again, with like Scooby-Doo Zombie, the art, man, it pays so much. The creepy atmosphere, the villains are next level.
Another inappropriate rock song plays, but honestly,
so
the
good.
animation is so good, it has a little bit of a music video vibe to it.
It's great, man. I don't care what anybody says. Terror Time Again is so fucking good.
It's like if there was a Rob Zombie Kids. It actually kind of gels okay. Scooby and Shaggy stumble across a cave where they find voodoo dolls of Fred, Velma, and Daphne, as they seem to move whenever they're picked up. And yeah, this scene's pretty funny.
This one looks like Daphne. Ow!
Jenkins! Ow!
I'll forgive you only if you do that 5 more times. They're eventually dropped as they make it back to the house and discover the power is off. Great, this house was a pirate ship and the set for the Munsters. I had a feeling about both. They come across...
I always had a problem with this scene. Always had a problem with this scene. Velma is supposed to be a really good detective, right? She notices that the footsteps are walking down the hallway. And I was watching the movie the other day and I noticed this. The footsteps are walking down the hallway, and she already looks suspicious that something is amiss because she says, Simone, I think is her name. I can't remember. I want to say it's Simone. She says that the one lady was dragged away. I don't think it's Simone. I don't think it's Simone. I think Simone is the other one. I'm having a brain moment. But she says that she gets dragged down the hallway when clearly she doesn't. And she waits until they walk all the way down there to say something. Why?
Trust Lena, who says the zombies
Lena.
drag Simone away, but Velma doesn't quite believe her.
I saw the footprints of Simone's heels. She wasn't dragged. She walked down that tunnel.
Why the fuck would you say something now? I mean, obviously they're all surprised because they didn't notice it, but she did. Why? You just led him into a trap.
That's why I let you walk us into this room where we can be easily trapped before I reveal that you're easily trapping us. I specialize in solving mysteries, not the timing of when I solve them.
I guess,
Sure
man.
enough.
I guess, but yeah, it was a stupid thing. Like, why would you believe? Yeah.
Simone reveals herself and uses the voodoo dolls to capture them.
Sorry, I suspected you.
Apology accepted.
You're still a suspect.
Seriously?
Dude.
Jesus, this really is Sleepwalkers!
Yeah.
Except the movie was somehow less scary and more funny.
At least Scoob and Shaggy are still free.
We didn't even bother making wax dolls of them. A waste of time and magic wax.
Damn, that's harsh.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
not making Sonic the movie toys because you know they won't sell. It's practical, but still mean.
Every harvest moon, I must drain the life force from victims to preserve my
Yeah,
immortality.
getting again into the atmosphere aspect of Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. Dude, when they tell the story about what happened to them and why they are the way they are, dark. Like, really seriously just, oh my god, this is a kids movie and it got dark, and that's kind of why I love it. I love kids films that will go the extra mile and insert a little bit of legitimate fear into the mind. I think it's important for kids to understand what fear is and be a little bit scared. It's just, I think I like it. I like it.
So really the title of this should have been Scooby-Doo on Zombie Ghost, Crazy Cat Lady, and somehow Confederate Soldier Island. You know, at this point, Dracula could show up.
He really could.
It looks like
Anybody.
even the fairy captain is one of the cat creatures as Simone reveals the true story of the pirate Moonscar.
I was one of a group of settlers who made this island our home. We looked to our cat god for a bountiful harvest.
Kind of a weird way of putting that. Isn't that kind of like saying we look to our Blitz Carpenter to show us the way? Moonscar was looking for a place to bury his treasure and attacked the people, forcing them into the bayou where they were eaten by gators.
Crazy. Yeah.
I think I gotta play a clip from earlier. Well, I never thought I'd say this in a Scooby-Doo movie, but holy shit! They prayed to the cat gods
got
who
dark.
gave them feline powers. So, just to clarify, cat gods are the true religion in the Scooby-Doo universe. Oh, Scooby, you're going to cat hell. And they killed all the pirates off. Over the years, they would lure people to the island and drain their life force to stay alive. Meaning, for a Scooby-Doo movie,
Nobody ever points this out, but the yell that Morgan Moonscar makes is the same exact one that the gardener guy right there from the flashback makes. It's the same exact scream.
this has kind of an impressive body count.
It's us or them world. Make it them.
Just as they're about to be added to the pile, Scooby and Shaggy distract them as Velma breaks free and quickly makes voodoo dolls of Lena and Simone.
You're not the only ones who like playing with dolls.
Jinkies! Thank God I'm brushed up on the horrors of the black arts. Don't Google me either. Because they didn't drain them in time, the curse claims the cat people, and good God!
Oh, it's so cool. It's so fucking cool, man.
Like, seriously, how did we get a G out of this?
I love it.
All the zombie spirits turn to ash as it looks like the day is saved, but nobody will believe what happened.
Don't be so sure. I'm Detective Bone Neville. Been working undercover, investigating the island disappearances.
God, you wish you had a gun. Imagine if you pulled out a gun the second they all started, like, suspecting something.
Like you, I'm ungodly slow at doing my job. He agrees to do an interview for Daphne's show as the gang gets ready to leave the island.
With all the zombies and cat creatures gone, this is a pretty romantic spot.
Yeah.
Makes me think of all the times we mentally cheated on each other. I'm totally doing that cop, by the way.
I would like to write detective stories.
I've always been crazy about a good detective. A story, that is. I even own my own mystery bookstore.
No kidding.
Do you have a brother I could possibly date? Well, this is ironic. We're reminded this guy was a character as Scooby and Shaggy have one last fight for the road.
Mojo. Raggy rats.
Someone didn't measure out this framing or they've all been cursed by David the Gnome's eyebrows.
Right.
Oh! No shit. I never noticed that. Yeah, they're not even, like, touching. Like, the glowing eyes aren't even on top of some of them. I never noticed that. That's...
Cursed by David the Gnome's eyebrows.
Right.
Wow.
So that's said to be one of the best Scooby-Doo movies, if not the best Scooby-Doo movie.
In my
And for
opinion,
what
it is.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, it is still a Scooby-Doo cartoon, so it's still more kid-centered in terms of humor and character. But it does up the ante with heavily atmospheric animation, a cinematic feel, a decent mystery combining the practical and supernatural, and some pretty intense creep factor as far as Scooby-Doo movies go.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any great achievement or anything, but for a straight-to-video movie, a lot more effort was put into it than many would probably expect. It's
I love
nice
it,
that
man.
it can play up the darkness and take a few risks than, say, other Scooby-Doo properties should have. You know who you are. So yeah, if you're a Scooby-Doo fan, this is a pretty decent flick to check out.
I don't mind the movie. I don't mind it. It's not one that I put on a lot. There's some moments where I'm genuinely just, yeah. Actually, believe it or not, I actually prefer Monsters Unleashed over that 2001 Scooby-Doo movie. I think it was 2001 when it came out. I think I prefer Monsters Unleashed, the sequel, because it actually had a lot more of the monsters I recognize from like the cartoon and stuff.
If you're not, I don't think this is gonna sway you, but I don't think it'll turn you off to it either. I think it has just enough of an edgy creativity to be enjoyable, as long as you keep in mind the humor and characters are still primarily aimed at kids. But what's wrong with that? Go ahead and gather the little ones around the TV screen and scare the everlasting bejesus out of them. And that wraps up another Nostalgia Ween. So next week, it probably makes sense to review something a little different. Something super, but full of wonder. Drove people batty, but was gone in a flash.
Justice League.
Aquaman and Cyborg.
Justice League.
Stories like that always give me the
heebie-jeebies.
Ooh!
Yeah, man. What can I say? Genuinely, what can I say? Zombie Island, I agree. It is the best Scooby-Doo movie. If you want my recommendation for a Scooby-Doo movie that would actually kind of freak you out, and it's unique too because, again, the monsters are real. It's not like somebody under a mask. No, these things are real, and they're actually terrorizing. And the story about these cat creatures actually, like, yearly and annually bringing new people out just to suck the life out of them, basically, and the soul so they can continue with their youth and survive as immortals, is a crazy out there concept, especially for a Scooby-Doo movie. Another Scooby-Doo movie that I really do enjoy, which a lot of people don't even talk about, is I think it's called Scooby-Doo, and it's like a vampire one, and I know the villain's name is the Yowie Yahoo. I swear to God, that's the vampire's name, the Yowie Yahoo. And I used to watch that one on repeat as a kid too. And it also has a really cool kind of rock song when it comes to the chase scene between like Scooby Shaggy and the vampires. Get Away, I think is what it's called. I can't remember, but it was like a long time ago, and that one always hit with me. And also The Witch's Ghost is another fun one. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Get this video over 100 likes, and I'll continue reacting to the Nostalgia Critic for you guys. It's, you know, specific ones, obviously. I want to keep it horror-related because I'm a big fan of horror. Keep it horror-related, but let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please do take care.
If you can't stay, can't start to through, you won't be meant to.